What's up, YouTube? I am Swidman from Hebrew Legends,
And this is Noah from Hebrew Legends also.
and we are going to, as you can see, break down Noah's now outdated base because he got smashed. We kind of want to show he got hogged, as you can see. Plenty of hogs there. We just want to show the replay quick, let you guys watch it, and then afterward, we just kind of want to break down why the person that attacked Noah was able to do it and do it so effectively. And it's kind of a unique hog strategy that takes Asian walling to the max and kind of to a new level that I've never seen before. But it was pretty effective on the base that Noah has. So I'm just going to play this for you guys and let you watch it here. I'll kind of provide some commentary. But he drops 4 hogs for the lure. Gets the whole thing, no problem. He has a couple up there as well for the mortar. And that actually trips that first giant bomb set, as you can see, which there wasn't anything there. It was just regular bombs, but he already knows that's no longer a possibility or a threat. Pulls him out there. Tries to get him all tightened up. He's got a Valk in the CC, so it makes this loon drop moot because he also has minions and it kills a few archers, but nothing really pertinent. Drops the jump early. Here comes the golem. Wizards behind everything, just creating the funnel. Heroes immediately. Everything just follows those clan castle troops, which follow the golem, and everything is led right into that jump spell, which was a pretty clever way of doing it. Golem's already split, if you can see that. So his golem really was just to get his stuff into that queen and take care of the clan castle troops, which is kind of interesting. His king's down, but look, here come the hogs. Spread wide in little packs of 3 and 4. He uses them very tactically, almost like balloons. Almost like he's looning. The heal spells were just perfectly placed. He had a couple hogs like right near death that got healed back up. Here come the rest of the hogs. And he just Asian walls the whole thing. So you can see there he loses a couple hogs down in the south to a double giant bomb set. But up north he trips one. And that's it. He heals the core with his last heal, and there's no giant bombs left. So he's got 6 hogs that are healed up. He dropped a couple wizards down here for cleanup. And there were only 2 defenses left for 6 hogs. And he's got a full health archer queen still. I'll fast forward this. But yeah, that was it. I mean, it was an attack that took well under 3 minutes. Just over 2 minutes, I think. So it was a pretty interesting attack, pretty interesting way to use hogs. I mean, the traditional way is to drop them in a 2-3 finger drop at the most, and just let them do their thing. But this is very interesting, kind of. If Hulk calls it a strike force way of using hogs, but I'm going to switch over now to just a picture of Noah's base, so you guys can see this. Noah, what do you think, man? I'm on here. I'm on this picture now, so if you want to draw some stuff out for us.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm just going to draw out right now all of the possible bomb spots. And he checked all of them and managed to check, I think, two or three with the lure, which is great. Let's see. And I guess there's also a possibility that you could have a sideways one right there.
Yeah, yeah. You have a couple of those, actually. You've got one over by the other air defense as well.
Oh, yeah.
And we were actually just talking because had Noah had he gotten rid of this wall, there would have been another potential spot right here. Not that would have mattered because
Dropping this archer tower down 1 level would have added a spot right here, too.
right.
I think he does check it during the lure, but
Yeah, he may get there. I don't know. Does he get to the archer tower? Whatever. I mean, it doesn't matter because once he drops his Asian wall, and he drops it just
so much.
all the way around the base, and then he drops a second pack up here. Really impressive attack, honestly. So here's the thing about this base. No, if you want to clear those spots,
Yeah.
There's no perfect double giant bomb spot. So if you can see the pathing, like here and here for these ones, this was what his bomb spot actually was, but there's no real pathing that takes you perfectly across that, because if you've got an equal set of hogs coming in here and here, they're going to jump up and these ones coming from the cannon are going to trip it, which is what happens actually. Additionally, same thing over here. Like the closest thing to a perfect set he has is right here, headed from this air defense to the archer tower. But there are closer defenses to that air defense. So there's not really an instance where they're going to path directly over that. They're going to bounce off, maybe a couple path, but so because there are no perfect spots, even this one, because it's an 8x8 and it leaves no leeway, whereas this one is a 9, not an 8x8. I'm sorry, just an 8x2, and this is a 9x2. This one, as soon as you jump over onto this archer tower, you're going to trip a bomb. He actually comes in from this side, and this is the double bomb set that gets a few of his hogs, but because he Asian walled them so wide, it didn't matter. So these spread bases with like big compartments and potentially lots of spots apparently just get shredded by that kind of tactical placement of hogs. Noah, what are your thoughts on, like, I mean, because there's no real set, there's no set that inevitably is going to lead you. Like, had this been like a gold mine, right? Like, imagine this expo was a gold mine, and imagine this archer tower was, something else, not a defensive building. This would have passed him right into it, over here through this one or up through that one. So in one of those cases, that would have been fine. But it just kind of goes to show why even bases like this, kind of spread, potentially unhoggable bases that have the town hall outside and that look like they're trying to avoid a 3-star at all costs, can actually be vulnerable to hogs. I don't know. What do you think, Noah?
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you. I think it's all just about breaking apart the base. As you can see, he checked a lot of spots when luring, and with his just extreme Asian wall, he managed to negate all of the bombs. And if you look at his hog pathing, the way he dropped them down, I think down here, let me circle it real quick. I think what he wanted to do is actually have them go right here and trip those potential bombs. I think he may have just slightly missed it. That's why
I think you're
had
right.
his hogs come in from over here.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But all of the hogs that he had passed, all this huge ring, all went perfectly so that they trip one at a time just in case.
Yeah. And it was amazing because even had these been singles, he actually heals. So he heals here, right? He heals there. He heals here.
Yeah.
And then he healed the core afterward.
Yep.
So he ends up healing like every spot almost,
Yeah.
Like every single potential spot he is healed. In the core, because these already came through, he knew there were no longer any hogs there. But just knowing how your hogs are going to path, like, it doesn't seem, because he brought so many hogs, he kind of has a bare bones Goho army here, with just cold-blooded, one golem out of the CC and plenty of hogs. No witches, so he's just basically using his golem as bait for the clan castle, while his wizards and royals take out the clan castle and jump into the queen, which opens up at least 5 or 6 more hog spaces for him, which allows him to send them in packs of 3 or 4, and he can lose a few just from the point defenses, and it doesn't matter because he's gotten rid of all of the potential spots, and there's no harm in only having 3 spells and potentially losing a bunch of hogs at the end.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. Also, one thing with the clan castle kill, he uses the wizards to kill the clan castle, but not only that, he breaks the funnel with the same thing he's killing the clan castle with.
Right.
That's huge because, usually even with you using witches, you're still going to have to sacrifice 2 wizards to cut the funnel on both sides. And he managed, when he put the jump down and he put his heroes down immediately, they go for the clan castle, but his heroes are still saved by the end of it just because that golem's tanking, and he immediately sends in the hogs backing him up just everywhere. And that's a huge benefit, having your heroes back you up, since he didn't have a ton of hogs left over at the end.
And there was, he was able to do this in part, even though he's backed up right along the edge, and normally that's a huge. It's very problematic. You don't want to get backed up right on the edge of the map because whatever's in the CC can get to your witches or whatever. But he didn't have any witches, so he uses the golem really early, drops a pre-jump spell. He had taken this mortar out with hogs, so the only things that were able to shoot him would have been this archer tower here, and the golem that he drops in is taking all the DPS, which is not even that much. Like if you look at this, it's really just these two archer towers in this wizard tower, which makes this area here vulnerable. And he jumps right here. So, no, it seems to me like actually you could have, had you moved this set of walls and just popped it out and moved it here instead, it would have gotten rid of one of your potential bomb spots, but it would have basically made it such that he could not have used a single jump. He would have had to jump here, actually, which would have been fine as well. Well, yeah.
I don't know if
It was a good
if
attack, man.
If you move the walls around, he'd probably at least have to use 2 or 3 wall breakers just to get in there with the wizard tower and the king there.
Yeah. I mean, if you had to alter this base, knowing how he was going to attack it, like how are you preventing in the future this kind of attack onto bases? Because although I don't see a lot of this from, like One Hive doesn't do a lot of the Asian wall stuff. They do a lot of 2-finger, 3-finger drop. Clans like them don't usually use that kind of like super wide Asian wall, and it's, even though it may be, I don't know, a little stereotypical or something, it is a lot of the Asian clans that tend to use that, which is how it got its name.
Yeah.
So curious how you defend. Like, do you think maybe more point defenses on the outside causing more problems for the hogs initially, maybe, or more problems for the wizards in a bare bones army kind of like this? What do you think?
I think more of the issue is you got to make the bomb spots hard to get to.
Yeah.
I had 2 spots that he checked just with the lure. You shouldn't be able to send some hogs in, check 2 spots, and trip those skeleton traps too. That was huge.
Yeah.
And really, I think it's just about making perfect spots where there's no way you can send your hogs in, Asian wall or not, that it's not worth it. Like, it makes it so hard to get in there, and you'll have to use at least 10 hogs. It gets to the point where it's not worth using them.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, and the thing is, like, using that kind of strategic hog pathing to trip bombs or to even trip a double giant bomb, sometimes you have to burn a spell. Holo tries to prevent that by just bringing loons and negating bomb spots, or opening up something so that you can, drop some hogs and maybe trip a double giant bomb. But using those little packs of 3 and 4 and kind of strategically targeting defenses, almost like a Laloon attack, actually, especially in a base like this, like, I mean, he just did a great scout, because it ends up that, like, all of these things are converging on a few defenses, right? So he's able to get them all with 1 heal, which is huge. So he loses a few on the outside under his first, the first kind of wave, but that's it. He has most of them left to do work for him, so it's kind of interesting.
I think that really shows that if you really look at a base, like, a lot of the anti-hog bases have widespread bases, and that works perfectly for the strategy, because all he was doing, all you need is 3 or 4 hogs, even max, for each defense, and that's all he was bringing.
Yeah.
And with those, you can send in those amount of hogs and check those deep spots when the bases are spread out really wide like that.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that at any given time he's really only getting hit by, 3 point defenses at once, allows the hogs to get deep, even though there aren't many of them. The more compact bases, obviously it's easier to send your hogs in a pack and have them travel around and heal the whole pack. But bases like this, where there's potential of hitting a bunch of spring traps, other bombs, other, little traps like that, it actually makes sense to use this kind of strategic hog pathing and strike force type of groups, small groups of hogs, at different defenses on the outside. Very interesting. Noah, you have any final thoughts, man?
Well, the one thing I'd like to add, yeah, just make sure you're on the lookout for bases like this. There's tons of bases where they're spread out wide. Maybe even like an anti-holo base, like maybe they have their air defenses pretty out wide, so you can't holo it, but their defenses are only three at a time. Consider looking at a base like this and see where you can trip your double bombs at, potential ones,
Yeah.
and see where it takes you.
Cool. All right, guys. Yeah, so we just wanted to point that out, point out this new kind of hog attack that's not even really an Asian wall spread, but kind of that idea of sending three or four in tiny groups at specific defenses that are all going to end up pathing you towards double giant bomb spots or pathing towards the center for a heal. So, in any case, I'm Swidman,
And I'm Noah.
and we're from Hebrew Legends. Have a good one, guys.